Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Taize service for February. I want to begin on a sweet but sorrowful note and ask us all to dedicate this service together to Beth Parkinson and Timmy Thornton. They are members of Buff and have been since 2016. They live in Nanaimo, British Columbia, and they are part of our Taize Zoom community. And since we last gathered in January, Beth was diagnosed with metastatic lung cancer and has chosen to use Canada's program called MAID, Medical Assistance in Dying. I'm sharing this with permission, by the way. But she and Timmy have planned that February 8th will be the day that Beth goes on to what she calls her greatest adventure and greatest healing. And part of why they chose that date is so they could be here with us at Taize on Zoom this evening. So it feels really appropriate that we all hold that together, hold them in heart and thought. Some of the songs that we're singing this evening are some of their favorite ones. And so in that spirit, I invite us to sing and pray and meditate together by candlelight. opening reading is a pantoum poem that I wrote called Decorating the Dark. I've heard it said that the ancient Celts didn't light candles to dispel the dark, but to decorate it. Dispelling the dark conjures up images of resisting it and distancing ourselves from it and pretending it's not real. Decorating the dark brings forth images of welcoming her, showing radical hospitality to her, and taking off our shoes to dance on holy ground with her. I love the idea of decorating the dark to accentuate her presence and beauty. Dispelling the dark conjures up images of resisting it and distancing ourselves from it and pretending it's not real. Learning what it means to decorate the dark is a sacred spiritual practice. I love the idea of decorating the dark to accentuate her presence and beauty. It could be a ritual of bowing and saying to her, "Hello, my dear, I was expecting you." It is learning what it means to decorate the dark is a sacred spiritual practice. It is a deep knowing that the dark is necessary for birth and transformation, while remembering that both require hard labor. It could be a ritual of bowing to her and saying, "Hello, my dear, I was expecting you. I greet you with a kiss of peace as I place a lighted wreath around your neck and draw you in close." It is a deep knowing that the dark is necessary for birth and transformation, while remembering that both require hard labor. Decorating the dark brings forth images of welcoming her, showing radical hospitality to her, and taking off our shoes to dance on holy ground with her. I greet you with a kiss of peace as I place a lighted wreath around your neck and draw you in close. I've heard it said that the ancient Celts didn't light candles to dispel the dark, but to decorate it.
invite you to join me now for our time of guided meditation, and then Tessie and Lisa will lead us in our time of embracing meditation, where we share our joys and concerns. So settle in a little more comfortably, breathe deeply, and relax your shoulders. Soften your gaze, and if it feels comfortable for you, close your eyes and let yourself begin to welcome in a little more darkness. Bring your awareness to your breath, letting each breath coax you into a place of deeper quiet. If your mind is clamoring with thoughts, there is no need to banish them. Just notice them and take a little vacation from having to respond to the thoughts. This is not a time for figuring things out. And now I invite you to bring your attention to your heart, breathing right into the center of it. Notice what emotional weather is visiting. Is it sunny, foggy, pouring down rain from a darkening sky? This time of year, there is often a mix of several kinds of weather. Whatever is there, see if you can make a welcoming space for it. See if you can give it the gift of your breath and your kindness. Now, remembering that you have a body, bring some attention to your physical body. Just noticing the various sensations as they come and go. Notice with warmth and caring any areas of tension or tightness. Let your breath invite you to loosen the weight of the world from your muscles and bones. It is February. We just moved beyond the halfway point between winter solstice and spring equinox. The light is slowly returning, but we have a lot of darkness to travel through yet. And no matter what part of the journey we're on, around the seasons of the year and the seasons of our lives, there will always be some darkness. It may be tempting to rush through it. In your longing for the sunlight, you may be tempted to banish the darkness by switching on all the lights. Instead, I invite you to breathe into the sweet darkness, the fertile darkness, the place of dreaming, birth, and transformation, the place of mystery, death, and creation, the place where deep change happens, hidden from view. Communing with the darkness takes the time it takes. We're remembering together now, here in this moment, that when the darkness comes, we don't need to banish it. We can decorate it. We are remembering together that to welcome the darkness and to decorate it is a sacred practice. We can light candles, sing sacred chants, dance with the darkness, listen for the songs emanating from a starry sky. There are infinite ways to decorate the darkness. Take a moment now to ponder the darkness that you're encountering these days, and ask yourself this question: how can I best decorate the darkness at this time in my life? In a moment, Tessie and Lisa will be leading us in our joys and concerns. Now, in preparation, I invite you to begin to stir, to become a little more aware of your surroundings, to wiggle your fingers and toes, and softly open your eyes.
And now gently we turn our hearts and our minds towards this community of faith that sustains us and communities of faith all over the world. And we pause to remember the joys and the concerns that are on our hearts, as well as the name of people that might be on our hearts tonight. For those of you in our Zoom community, I invite you to type your joy or concern into the chat window, and Lisa will read those aloud, sharing them here with the community that can also hold them with you. And for those here in the sanctuary, if you can say yours out loud as you're comfortable, and try to say it loudly enough that Lisa might hear, and then she'll repeat them so that the folks in the Zoom community can also hear and hold your joy and your concern.
For Pam's daughter, Rachel, in the final month of her pregnancy, that she remain healthy and the baby remains healthy. We have prayers tonight for another community of one of our members that is suffering from much conflict. But this community reminds me that there is hope and light in the darkness. For Carol Lenig's sister Gail, who's undergoing treatment for cancer. For all those affected by the earthquake in Syria. We have prayers tonight for all of those affected by the earthquake in Syria and Turkey. For Charlotte, who's in her last week of treatment for cancer. We celebrate that this beautiful service is available online. Blessings and thank you. We have prayers for Janice and Cinder, each of whom are dealing with severe illness. We embrace this tender time tonight with Timmy and Beth, a time of loss and a time of love. We give prayers for the gift of music.
To each and all, according to their need, may wisdom and healing and strength flow forth from the Spirit of life today and always. Blessed be and amen.
Some of our longings and prayers come from a deep place where words are difficult to find. You're invited to light a candle on your home altar or your sanctuary altar for those longings and prayers. And let's continue singing as we light those candles. The Silence of the Stars by David Wagner. When Lawrence Vanderpost, one night in the Kalahari Desert, told a bushman he couldn't hear the stars singing, they didn't believe him. They looked at him half smiling. They examined his face to see whether he was joking or deceiving them. Then two of those small men who plant nothing, who have almost nothing to hunt, who live on almost nothing and with no one but themselves, led him away from the crackling thorn scrub fire and stood with him under the night sky and listened. One of them whispered, "Do you not hear them now?" And Vanderpost listened, not wanting to disbelieve, but had to answer, "No." They walked him slowly, like a sick man, to the small, dim circle of firelight and told him they were terribly sorry. But he felt even sorrier for himself and blamed his ancestors for their strange loss of hearing, which was his loss now. On some clear nights, when nearby houses have turned off their televisions, when the traffic dwindles, when through streets are between sirens, and the jets overhead are between crossings, when the wind is hanging fire in the fir trees, and the long-eared owl in the neighboring grove between calls is regarding his own darkness, I look at the stars again, and as I first did to school myself in the names of the constellations, and remember my first sense of their terrible distance. I can still hear what I thought at the edge of silence, where the inside jokes of my heartbeat, my arterial traffic, the sea, high above sea of my inner ear, myself tunelessly humming. But now I know what they are. My fair share of the music of the spheres and clusters of ripening stars, of the songs from the throats of the old gods, still tending even tone-deaf creatures through their exiles in the desert.
safely to arrive at home. Let us go in kindness, go in love, go in faith, leave the day behind us. Day is done, go in grace. Let us go into the dark, not afraid, not alone. Let us hope by some good pleasure, safely to arrive at home. Let us go in kindness, go in love, go in faith, leave the day behind us. Day is done, go in grace. Let us go into the dark, not afraid, not alone. Let us hope by some good pleasure, safely to arrive at home. Good evening, everyone. I'm Reverend Tessie Mandeville, community minister here at Buff, and I am so glad that you joined us here in person and you joined us here in our Taize Zoom community. It is always good to be together to sing and pray and to meditate by candlelight. And I hope that you have received what you needed this evening in community with one another. It takes many hands and hearts to create our Taize service, so I do like to always express gratitude to those you see in front of you and those you don't see who are behind you in the sound room, and to Betty Scott, who hosts conversation on Zoom after Taize. And I just want to thank you for all the ways that you support us. And we welcome donations to Taize in the form of leaving an offering in the basket if you're here in the sanctuary. And for those online, Jeff is showing you a slide that gives you a little bit more instruction on how to do that if it's something that you're able to do this month. And I do want to say that our next Taize service is Monday, March the 6th. At 7 o'clock here in person or over Zoom, and over Zoom. And you're also welcome to connect with Buff anytime in between Taize services. You can go on to buff.org and learn more about what's happening here in the life of this community. And we would welcome to see you at other times as well. For those on Zoom this evening. Betty Scott will be staying with you afterwards to have some conversation and fellowship if some of you would like to stay around for that. And for those of us here in person, we will fellowship together in just a little bit. So as we draw this day to a close, may we gently say our Taize mantra together. What's done is done. What's left undone is left undone. And let's close in offering our blessings to Beth Parkinson and Timmy Thornton during this time of deep love and sorrow. And we pray, Beth, that your transition to the greatest adventure and the greatest healing is peaceful and smooth, and that you know that you are held in love. And we're so thankful that you've been a part of Buff and that you have been a part of this Taize community. In fact, you were the ones, Beth and Timmy, that made us an international Taize service. And so I've always been very excited about that piece as well. And Beth, please know that we will continue to love and support Timmy after you have departed, and we will carry you in our memories. And I want to offer you these words from our closing reading to take with you as you go. May you hear your fair share of the music of the spheres and clusters of ripening stars, of the songs from the throats of the old gods, still tending you as you depart. Go in peace. And to those of us here this evening as well, may we go in peace and share a sign of that peace with one another, whether that's a handshake or a hug or a smile, as Andrea plays some very gentle departing music for us. Take good care and good night.